Hey everyone, welcome to a new movie explanation video. In this video, I'll be explaining about a movie, The Book Thief.
A voice claiming to be deaf, Roger Allam, describes how the young Liesl Meininger, Sophie Nélisse, has caught his attention in April 1938. When Liesl's younger brother passes away, she is on a train with her mother, Heike Makic, and other family members. At his funeral, she picks up a book, a gravedigger's manual, that was left near his grave. Liesl is then sent to Hans, Geoffrey Rush, and Rosa, Emily Watson, Huberman as foster parents because her communist mother is in danger. Liesl strikes an impact on Rudy Steiner, a young neighbor, when she first arrives, Nico Liersch. She is joined by Rudy on her first day of school. Liesl can only write 3 X's when the instructor asks her to write her name on the whiteboard, demonstrating that she is illiterate. Later that day, she is made fun of by her classmates, who yell Dummkopf, which is German for dumb. Franz Deutscher, one of the lads, challenges her to read only one word, and Liesl answers by punching him. Rudy is impressed by her, and they quickly become friends. Her stepfather, Hans, starts teaching Liesl to read after realizing that she is illiterate and using the book that she stole from the graveyard. Any book Liesl can get her hands on becomes her obsession. Rudy and Liesl join the Hitler Youth Organization. Franz forces Liesl and Rudy to toss books onto the bonfire during a Nazi book-burning ritual, but Liesl is saddened to witness the volumes being destroyed. She takes a book that hasn't been burnt after the campfire is put out and everyone has departed but her. The mayor's wife, Ilse Hermann, Barbara Auer, who is the mayor, Rainer Bach, observes her. When Hans finds out she's taken the book, he orders her to keep it a secret from everyone. Rosa once asked Liesl to deliver the laundry to the mayor's residence. Knowing that the person who witnessed Liesl stealing the book is the mayor's wife, Liesl fears that she will be exposed. Instead, Ilse leads Liesl inside their library and invites her to stop by whenever she likes to read as much as she wants. Here, Liesl also learns about Johann, the son of Ilse who is now gone. She understands that Ilse created a library in his honor because of how terribly affected she is by the death of her son. When the mayor discovers Liesl reading one day, he not only stops Liesl from visiting but also fires Rosa as their laundress. Liesl keeps scaling a window to steal books from the mayor's library. There is a night of anti-Jewish violence, known historically as Kristallnacht. Jewish parents Max Vandenberg, Ben Schnetzer, and his mother are informed by a friend that only one of them, Max, can escape, and Max's mother coerces him to go. Max visits the Hubermans, where Rosa and Hans provide him with a place to stay. The guide who saved Hans' life during World War I is Max's father. Max is first let to stay in Liesl's room while recuperating from his trip, and they become closer over their shared hate of Hitler since Liesl holds Hitler responsible for the death of her mother. The start of World War II first brings great joy to the majority of the kids in Liesl's neighborhood. Later, Max is sent to the basement so that he may walk about more, but because of the lower temperature, Max becomes seriously ill. Liesl reads to Max whenever she has an opportunity to help him get better. Rudy follows Liesl one day as she leaves the mayor's house with a book. He learns the meaning of the books as well as the mystery of Max, whose name he saw on a diary Max had given Liesl for Christmas. Rudy makes the assumption that her family is keeping a secret, but he pledges he won't tell anyone. Franz hears them, but only Rudy's final advice to keep it quiet. Rudy resists Franz's harsh prodding to divulge the information by tossing the journal into the river. Rudy proves to Liesl that she can trust him by diving into the freezing river to save the journal after Franz has left. They had to hide Max when a local party member soon stops along to look at the Huberman cellar. They learn that their cellar was being examined as a potential bomb shelter, and they are relieved to learn that they weren't thought to be hiding a wanted person. One day while at work, Hans witnesses a Jewish neighbor and acquaintance being arrested by the police. Hans attempts to explain to the police that the man is a decent German, and the man replies that his son is serving in the military and fighting for Germany, but he is still carried away, and the soldiers take Hans' name. Due to the fact that they are now visible, Hans is aware of his error. Max learns that he must go to safeguard the family when he tells them. Hans suddenly receives a telegram informing him that he must leave right now since he has been drafted into the army. One day on her way home from school, Liesel thinks she has spotted Max with a group of Jews walking through the town on their route to a concentration camp. She starts calling his name and runs through the group while yelling. She is again tossed off the street by a German soldier until Rosa picks her up and carries her home, which causes her to finally give in. Hans soon leaves the front after suffering an injury when a bomb struck the truck carrying his unit. Only briefly are the family members reunited because one night the city is bombarded and the air raid sirens do not sound. The explosion results in the deaths of Hans, Rosa, and Rudy's family, except from his father, who has also been drafted into the army. Liesel slept out in the basement while keeping the notebook Max had given her, saving her from the blast. Rudy is barely alive as neighbors rescue him from his home. He starts to tell Liesel he loves her. But he passes away before he can continue. He is already dead when Liesel begs him not to pass away, promising to give him the kiss he has been craving, and does just that. In this scenario, death is heard discussing how he got the souls of the deceased once more. Then, as one of the soldiers lifts Liesel and places her on a stretcher to take her to safety, she tragically drops out. She takes up a book she notices among the debris as she awakens. She then saw the Major and Ilsa arrive in their car. Liesel approaches Ilsa, her sole remaining friend, and gives her a hug. Liesel is seen working at the father of Rudy's tailor business 2 years later, and then Max shows up. She turns to look at him. She rushes to give him a bear embrace after learning of his survival and return. The Angel of Death appears in the final scene, speaking once more about Liesel's life and her passing at the age of 90 while showing us around her Upper East Side apartment in modern-day Manhattan and mentioning her husband, children, and grandchildren. The camera lingers on the portrait of Liesel as she speaks. Although the narrator doesn't say she got married, she does hint that she started writing. Death claims to have witnessed a great deal of good and terrible over the years, but Liesel is one of the few people who ever made him wonder what it might be like to actually live. In the end, though, there were just words of peace. Finally, Death claims that he is haunted by people and that this is the only reality it knows to be accurate.
Thank you for listening. Bye.